Please rise for the procession of the platform party for Stockton University's 2022 Commencement Ceremony, led by Grand Marshal Dr. Christine Totaro, who bears the mace of the university.
Welcome to Stockton University's commencement ceremony at the Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Would everyone please rise and join in the singing of the national anthem led by the Stockton Ensemble and accompanied by Dr. Beverly Vaughn, Professor of Music. Please be seated. Before we begin today's ceremony, we'd like to take a moment to make a few announcements. This facility is equipped with smoke detectors, which will set off visual and audio alarms when smoke is detected. Smoking is permitted in the loggia balcony next to the ballroom. The New Jersey State Fire Code requires that we evacuate the building should these alarms be activated. We also ask that you not block the aisles at any time during the ceremony. We direct your attention to the exits located under the exit signs throughout the arena. We will have staff available to assist you in the event of an emergency. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the ceremony. It is now my privilege to ask Dr. Amy Beth Glass, Associate Provost for Academic Affairs, to come to the podium and offer welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Tartaro. Good morning and welcome to our candidates for graduation, their families, and special guests as we celebrate our 50th anniversary of teaching. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the platform party. I ask that these colleagues and distinguished guests to stand and remain standing until all names are called, and kindly hold your applause until I complete the introductions. Representing the Stockton University Board of Trustees are Mr. Raymond Ciccone, Chair and a 1979 Stockton alumnus. Ms. Nalita Valentine, a 1986 Stockton alum. Dr. Nancy Davis, Professor Emerita. Reverend Colin A. Days, Sr., and Ms. Liliana Morales, student trustee and a candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Social Work. Representing the Stockton University Foundation Board is Ms. Donna Busby, Chair. And distinguished members from the platform party include Dr. Limor Kahanif, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Christine Tartaro, Professor of Criminal Justice and the Faculty Grand Marshal. Dr. Manish Madan, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice and the President of the Faculty Senate. Dr. Brian Bridges, Secretary of Higher Education for the State of New Jersey and today's keynote speaker. Ms. Brianna Bracey, Student Senate President. Ms. Elisa Erin Lopez de Guzman, Master of Science in Communication Disorders candidate, our student speaker for the class of 2022. And finally, the University Cabinet and Deans. Thank you for all your service to Stockton and higher education in New Jersey. Please be seated. At this time, I would also like to acknowledge Stockton's faculty. Will the faculty please rise? The faculty before you represent a portion of the dedicated faculty who teach, mentor, and support students each and every day. We thank you for all that you do. Please be seated. I would also like to acknowledge some special guests who are in our audience, sitting to my right in section 103. Members of the Stockton University Board and many government, county, and municipal officials who are present with us today. Thank you for celebrating with us. It is now my pleasure to invite Elisa Erin Lopez de Guzman, Master of Science in Communication Disorders candidate, to the podium to address the graduating class.
It all starts with the breath. That is something that my professor, Dr. Stacy Castle, has emphasized since our first day of graduate school. Breathing is the fuel for our lungs as we take the air in and out to express ourselves. As a student in the Master of Science in Communication Disorders program, much of my education has focused on amplifying the voices of others while also finding my own. So I'm using my voice here today to tell a story. Before I came to Stockton University, I was holding my breath for a long time about something simple. My name. My full first name is Elisa Erin, not Alyssa. For 22 years, I went my whole life being called Alyssa at school and by friends, and Elisa by my family. I had never corrected anyone on the pronunciation of my name. Once I came to Stockton, I knew I had to finally take ownership of my name and pronounce it the way my parents had intended for it to be said. After all, my parents did not immigrate halfway across the world for me to mispronounce my own name so that it could fit better in someone else's mouth. To my surprise, almost every person I came across here made the effort to say my name correctly. I was not singled out for being different, but was celebrated for speaking up. I am so thankful that Stockton gave me the space to be my most authentic and true self and allowed me to feel that my voice was being heard. Although this was a small hurdle during my journey, it took years for me to gather the courage to take pride in who I am. I tell you this story to remind you to take ownership of who you are. You will meet people who will tell you who they think you are and what you can or cannot do. In these situations, I encourage you to find empowerment in what makes you unique. Remember who you are, your values, and take that stand. I may not know your story or your struggles, but today I know your success as we are gathered here to celebrate our achievements together. If no one has said it to you already, I am proud of you, class of 2022. During your time at Stockton, you may have faced challenges that others could never relate to. You jumped over hurdle after hurdle, but look at where you are now. You did that. Whether it be commuting during the early mornings of the day or choosing or changing your major, look at how far you've come. But I know it might be scary that it's over. Stockton gave us the space to learn and grow, and to come here every day, whether it be in person or virtually, takes such strength and dedication. You may be scared for the next chapter ahead, whether it be a new job, some time off, or more school. But a favorite cartoon of mine once said, "Never forget that fear is but the precursor to valor, that to strive and triumph in the face of fear is what it means to be strong." You are strong, Ospreys. I am not going to stand before you and tell you that it's not scary, because it is. The future is scary, and I don't know what's going to come next for any of us. But how many times did you doubt yourselves before this moment today? We don't have to be perfect, and we don't have to know everything. We just have to try. Just look at how far trying has gotten you thus far. There is power in your voice. They say that actions speak louder than words, but they forget that to use your voice, your body uses dozens of muscles to let your words be heard. As the professionals of tomorrow, what will we do to use our voices to speak up? What will we do to make a difference in equity and accessibility to education and healthcare? How will we make those who are not represented heard? I am using my voice here to remind you that we are on the traditional territory of Lenape land, that there is still a wage gap between women and men, and that there is still racial injustices every day. Our voices can help us start the conversation on these issues and become leaders for change. I am here to remind you that learning does not stop once we receive our diplomas. In this ever-changing world, we must overcome adversity and be part of the conversation in our communities. We often think that going to school is synonymous with learning, but in reality, learning is a lifelong process. and I encourage you to never stop learning. We must continue to uplift, advocate, and celebrate one another, and remember that there is power in your voice. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2022. Please welcome to the podium Dr. Limor Kahanov, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Guzman. What a wonderful day to be in Osprey. Graduating class of 2022, please give yourselves a well-deserved round of applause. That was pretty good, but I think you can do a little better. Come on, graduating class. That's more like it. No one takes this journey alone, so let's please applaud for all those who supported you along the way. I'm pleased to represent President Kesselman, who's unable to be here today. President Kesselman could not be here with us this morning due to COVID protocols. He is on the mend and is staying home out of abundance of caution. The President and First Lady, both of whom are proud Stockton graduates, are watching today's ceremony from home via live stream and send their warmest wishes and congratulations to their fellow Ospreys, their families, and friends. As you take this final step in completing your academic career at Stockton, prepared to lead, to make a difference in today's challenging environment, it's imperative that we take the time to celebrate and cherish these moments. Commencement is one of the most important traditions for an institution of higher education. Dating back to medieval times, this event marks a milestone of student achievement, growth, and scholarly excellence. I treasure this moment, your moment, when we as a unified body have the honor of celebrating you and your accomplishments. In two ceremonies today, Stockton will award over 2,700 baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees. This incredible number illustrates the commitment, resilience, and perseverance you all have demonstrated along this journey. You will continue to rely on these strengths as you move toward new opportunities. Today is an important moment in your life. It represents the coming together of your past, present, and future journey. Today acknowledges everything that helped you get here. The hard work, the extra hours of studying, the remarkable friendships with your classmates, the fervent inspiration of your professors, and the unconditional support of your family and friends. These elements will infuse the passions and motivations that will sustain your future pathways, with all the excitement, successes, and challenges that await. The world is a very different place than when you came to Stockton or joined your first Zoom class. We faced historic shifts over the past few years. All the more reason why the world needs difference makers. Individuals who commit themselves to making positive change, either out front or behind the scenes, regardless of the change and no matter the odds. They persevere because they must, and they succeed because they can. We all have this spark to devote part of our time, energy, and talent to making the world better. That's what makes you a formidable Osprey. We become part of something bigger than ourselves, something that provides us with an intrinsic sense of self-worth, something that makes us and those who care for us proud of what we've become. Today, Stockton is pleased to recognize two honorees who embody this spirit. They are individuals who have dedicated their lives to making a positive impact in their professions and communities. We are incredibly proud and grateful that their commitments have remained focused here in the Garden State. This morning, we honor an extraordinary leader, Mr. John Hanson, whose career and characteristics exemplify Stockton values. Mr. Hansen will receive an honorary Doctor of Public Service during a mid-July ceremony. Mr. John Hansen, founder, the chairman of the Hampshire Companies, is a proud native New Jerseyan with a distinguished career in real estate investment spanning more than 6 decades. He serves as a role model for students everywhere who seek the kind of unwavering professionalism that is essential to one's success and longevity. Our second honoree and today's commencement speaker, Dr. Brian Bridges, is committed to achieving the state's higher learning goals, providing opportunities for exposure to create dreams, provide accessible post-secondary education pathways that open doors, and wonderful new vocational realities. Dr. Bridges earned a doctorate in higher education administration from Indiana University, a master's of public administration from the University of North Carolina, and a bachelor's of arts in English, language, and literature from Francis Marion University. A seasoned leader in higher education with a career spanning more than 25 years, Dr. Bridges has served in various capacities as a faculty member to executive leadership in administration. Prior to his current role as Secretary of Higher Education for the state of New Jersey, he played a tremendous role at the United Negro College Fund, serving in key positions including Vice President of Research and Member Engagement and Chief Research Officer. He also served as Vice Provost for Diversity, Access, and Equity at Ohio University and an Assistant Professor of Higher Education Administration at George Washington University. Dr. Bridges exemplifies commitment to public service through promotion of equitable access to higher education, as well as promoting resiliency in higher education institutions amidst the pandemic. I am honored to introduce him, Dr. Brian Bridges.
So, good morning. You all look pretty good for how hungover or tired some of you might be. I'll try to keep it short today so you can get back to your celebrating. I'm honored to be with you today to celebrate your commencement from Stockton University. And I want to congratulate you on all of the hard work, the research of topics that you'll never have to reference ever again in your lives, and the countless late nights that got you to where you are today. Commencement. The definition of the word commence is to begin or to start. And while you're concluding your studies here at Stockton, today is just the beginning of a brand new journey. I hope you remember this day well. From the friends graduating alongside you with their colorfully decorated mortarboards, to the family who travel long distances to see you, and that's a real sacrifice given how much gas costs these days, to the books, music, and other cultural influences that have shaped who you are. Right now, you probably feel invincible, forever young and energetic. But one day, in the not too distant future, you might find yourselves up on a stage like this, in a reversal of roles, giving a commencement speech. And you will be that old person giving a speech that no one will remember. But 20 to 30 years from now, you too will be baffled by whatever the 2042 version of Snapchat is, the type of music you're streaming, or even the unwritten rules about what your emoji usage says about you. Time has a funny way of creeping up on you when you least expect it. And I reference the passage of time because as I work with my staff on this speech, it made me reflect on my own journey and how it brought me to this stage speaking in front of the great class of 2022. I want to share 3 pieces of advice with you as you commence on your journey with degree or degrees for some of you in hand. My first piece of advice is to chart your own path with courage and integrity. For many of you, much of the course of your lives up to this point has been largely shaped or set by the people around you, your parents, your siblings, your peers, your teachers, your professors, and your mentors. But now it's time for you to chart your path forward and to choose what is right for you, using what you've learned at home, here at Stockton, or during your adventures exploring the world around you, to decide for yourselves where you'll make your impact and what kind of legacy you'll leave behind. I grew up in what we call the country. Anybody know about country living around here? Some of you know about country living. I grew up in a small South Carolina community that was predominantly low income and where few people, if any, went to college. No one on my mother's side of the family had even graduated from high school, so I had no clue what to expect of college. And when I left my tiny community to attend college a couple of hours away, I was overwhelmed and homesick, but I kept going because I knew the world had so much more to offer. It's amazing how much can change in a few years with hard work and determination. From being the first in my family to finish high school to the first to attend college, I soon found myself graduating with my master's degree. And when I chose to pursue my doctorate, there were a couple of family members who asked me things like, why do you need to get all these degrees? Do you need all of the degrees? Or when are you going to finish school and get a real job? Well, I've had several real jobs since then, and in fact, the powers that be even thought that I'd have some words of wisdom to share with you all today. While many people in the community where I was reared expected my path to be filled with success, I couldn't always see it so clearly. I occasionally questioned my own path. But let me tell you, graduates, do not let self-doubt creep into your mindset. I kept pressing forward, collecting all that I learned along the way, including book knowledge, advice from mentors, and the examples of peers to fine-tune the vision I had for my life. And that vision was that I wanted to help other people, like myself, experience the transformative power of higher education. So remember that when you chart a path that is aligned with your values and a bold vision, you will often end up in the most remarkable of places, like standing on a stage giving a commencement speech at Stockton in 2022. And you will have the satisfaction of knowing that your hard work made it possible. Second, I hope you embrace lifelong learning, even from the most unexpected places. Some of you might think that with your diploma in hand, you're finally closing the chapter on school and learning forever. But the learning continues even after you leave this campus and as you try to figure out your place in this world. The most valuable lessons you'll learn are the ones that teach you about how to live this singular and precious life that you have in ways that honor your roots and the person you want to be. To care deeply for those around you, to use your talents to serve others and leave this world better than when you entered it, and to impart that wisdom to the next generation who holds the future of our society in their hands. Life lessons can come from anywhere, even from people you thought you had nothing to learn from. In my case, I'm learning from my 11-year-old daughter, Kayla. Now, what could she possibly teach me beyond the latest TikTok dance or challenge, which she's always begging to show me? When I was young, everything seemed like a life or death scenario. Everything had to be just right. My daughter is entering her teenage years soon, and listening to her, you'd think the world was coming to an end every week. Imagine how stressful it is to operate like that 24/7. Many of you probably resemble that remark as you navigated your college years, stressing about everything. But as I got older, I realized that many of the things that kept me up at night in my youth weren't important in the grand scheme of things. My priorities evolved. One of the most important influences of my life was my 4th and 6th grade teacher, and my first true male role model, Mr. Scott. He taught me to put forth my true best effort, let things fall where they may, and try not to worry about the outcome. Of course, at the time, I thought he simply didn't understand, and you guessed it, I continued to worry about whether I had done enough. Now that my daughter's around the same age that I was at that time, I've seen that lesson come full circle. I may not have internalized it when Mr. Scott told me the first time, but life has a way of reinforcing the lessons you learned as a kid over and over in different ways from different sources. As much as you may cringe at the thought right now, you really do become more and more like your parents or the other role models in your lives as you get older, and when you do, you begin to appreciate the lessons they've been drilling into you for years and the teachings you've learned here at Stockton. Listen carefully to the life lessons shared by the people in your lives. Keep your eyes open so you don't miss the opportunities to connect the dots. It'll only make you stronger, more resilient, and better at whatever you choose to do. Finally, my third piece of advice is to push yourselves to move forward and upward wherever you are, even when you're doing well. At each stop of my career and each personal milestone, I would always ask, what's next? Because I never wanted to become complacent. Even when I reached my career goal of becoming a Chief Diversity Officer relatively early in my career, I wasn't done seeing what else was out there. I believed that there was something else I could do in service to others. One of the things that drove me to push myself forward and upward was my desire to live up to the promise that my family saw in me. Those robes and caps that you're wearing are indicators of promise fulfilled, but don't think you're done. Forward and upward movement means more is in store for each of you here today. There were 3 women who were central to my upbringing. My mother's still alive, but 2 of them, my grandmother and my aunt, both passed away well over a decade ago. And one of my regrets is that they didn't live to see my greatest professional accomplishments. Because I'm here in front of you as a result of the love and the lessons that they poured into me and their unwavering belief in my potential, just as your families at home and at Stockton poured into you to get you to where you are today and set you on the amazing journey ahead of you. So to paraphrase JFK, let us begin anew and commence. Commence into your bold new lives equipped with Stockton degrees and credentials that will allow you to keep pressing forward. But don't just press forward, continue to nudge yourselves upward in all aspects of life. Don't be complacent, pursue greater heights for yourselves, your families, and those who come after you. Congratulations on this monumental achievement. I, along with your families and the entire Stockton family, expect to see big things coming from the class of 2022 in the years to come. Good luck and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bridges. At this time, we would like to give special recognition to members of our faculty who are being granted emeritus status. Faculty from their respective academic programs recommended their colleagues be granted this title to honor their teaching, scholarship, service to students, and the many other contributions to the Stockton community. The Board of Trustees further commemorated this recognition with a resolution. We have 2 faculty members to recognize this morning who could not be with us. Dr. Gloham Reza Garashi, Professor of Economics, and Dr. Leanne Gunther, Associate Professor of Physical Therapy. We will now begin the presentation of candidates for baccalaureate degree, followed by the master's degrees and the doctoral degree candidates. A professional photographer has been engaged to take individual photographs of candidates as they walk across the stage. Proof of these photos will be mailed. The ceremony is also being recorded, and copies may be ordered by visiting the commencement website. We ask that all guests please remain in your seats while taking pictures. Will the baccalaureate degrees candidates please rise? Provost Kahanif, It is my privilege to report to you that the baccalaureate degree candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects by successfully completing curricula offered by Stockton University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
Baccalaureate degree candidates in the class of 2022 who've successfully completed all the requirements for graduation, based on the approval of the faculty and the authority vested in me by the state of New Jersey and the Stockton University Board of Trustees. I confer upon you the baccalaureate degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Graduates, you may now switch your tassels. Please be seated.
We are now privileged to present the new baccalaureate graduates. To honor your fellow graduates, when you exit the stage, please promptly return to your seats. To my right, the School of Health Sciences will present their graduates with Dr. Arnold. And to my left, the School of Social and Behavioral Sciences will present their graduates with Dean Marissa Levy. Please note that the last of the degree recipients may move to alternate sides of the stage. Would the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Health Sciences and the School of Social and Behavioral Sciences please come forward?
Colin Wood.
Daniel Ackerman.
Brendan Scanlon.
Matthew Ackerman.
Sean Haddock Sr.
Kristen Afanador.
Nicholas Amendola.
Emily Alas.
Evan Hilla.
Kimberly Albrecht.
Eric D'Arminio.
Trayvon Barbary.
Liam Wharton.
William Barron.
Daniel Baroni.
Casey Birchold.
Allison Bremer.
Kiefer Bermudez.
Alexandra Caballero.
Emily Bloom.
Zachary Canizzo.
Crystal Borneo.
Stephen Conte.
Kayla Brawley.
Seth Cesar.
Sarah Brooks.
Victoria Della Ante.
Daniel Basales.
Leanna Fiore.
Ryan Buffo.
Jeffrey Fisher.
Christian Cadme.
Jacob Gaynor Christie.
Elder Carmona Sosa.
Paige Golden.
Annalise Catherine.
Morgan Gracia.
Alexis Clayton.
Joshua Grano.
Devin Kolakovo.
Zachary Hagan.
Nicholas Kutola.
Zachary Huber.
Matthew Zulata.
Erica Kapraskowski.
Joseph Andy Dow.
Ryan Kirschenblatt.
Gavin DeVella.
Alexander Lemming.
Jordan DeGroot Coleman.
Andrew Lenaper.
Jonathan DeLigny.
Kimberly Lipit.
John DeStefano Jr.
Patrick Moore.
Kira Dillon.
Nia Muckle.
Gabriella Dorsey.
Donovan Nelson.
Matthew Duma.
Mario Ortiz.
Osei Edwards.
Enzo Rivera.
Kenia Uba Ruiz.
Timothy Cyanlar.
Amber Fazaro.
Joseph Shannon.
Ian Figueroa Rodriguez.
Fenwick Silvera. Justin Stafford.
Edmund Filona III.
Gianna Trava.
Colin Franson.
Anthony Tuda.
Jordan Gabri.
Rachel Tuppeny.
Alana Gallianisi.
Kayla Verna.
Tiffany Gang.
Kylie Walsh.
Julia Ginville.
Michael Werling.
Ashley Harkins.
Ava Wright.
Ali Hassan.
Lawrence Abanilla Jr.
Kelly Herrera.
Kayla Ashe.
Samantha Holder.
Zanatul Afifa.
Judith Hines.
Sarah Afifi.
Elena Jackson.
Funmulayo Aka Bashuran.
Alondra Johnson.
Tamina Akhtar.
Camilla Collada.
Megan Allen.
Richard Karzuski.
Monica Alenardo.
Tyler Kelly.
Madeline Alvarenga.
Scott Clink Jr.
Kaya Andrews.
Matthew Nista.
Megan Angelucci.
Matthew Koborowski.
Lindsay Aquino.
Olivia Cryer.
Jillian Aracola.
Tyler Langan Sr.
Kayana Arroyo.
Garrett Lange.
Tayana Asensio.
Tyler Lair.
Saeed Aziz.
Victoria Leonore.
Kevin Barry.
Jessica Limbach.
Victor Benkasmi I.
Kelsey Lindo.
Winifred Berlanga.
Christopher Loca Jr.
Jasmine Boatila.
Ashley Lopez.
Ashley Borsak.
Tahir Lucas.
Kevin Brando.
Andrew Luongo.
Jenna Braun.
Kelly Lutz.
Gianna Bernini.
Carly Lyons.
Morgan Buck.
Mustafa Maroof.
Tyler Berger.
Jordan Magasano.
Vincent Campanale.
Ashley Marshall.
Lakota Campbell.
Ariana Martinez.
Thomas Capetti.
Ryan Millibach.
Stephanie Carrero.
Robert Malazzo.
Patricia Cavallini.
Jada Mills.
Remy Christensen.
Brian Moitozo.
Angelica Cinco.
Emily Monteagudo.
Cassandra Siafi.
Isabella Montoya.
Sabrina Clement.
Jaslyn Muniz.
Alexius Collazo.
Alyssa Nessie.
Andrew Conover.
John Nista.
Kaylin Conway.
Brian O'Connell.
Kayla Carigliano.
Shane O'Connor.
Evan Cortese.
Melinda Ogano.
Victoria Costa.
Amma Osei Bonsu.
Justin Amadi.
Yesenia Pacheco.
Mackenzie Cotton.
Summer Pascariello. Bao Pham.
Caitlin Crane. Heather Crotty.
Michelle Pomponio.
Adonia DaCosta.
Amanda Pareda.
Jessica Dajin.
Francesca Potorti.
Quinn Daniel I.
Shane Purcell.
Maisha Davis.
Brianna Renzi.
Dominic DeLissi.
Emily Rivera.
Marcella DeLomo.
Nina Rivera.
Nikki Delva.
Alexandria Rodriguez.
Victoria DeSico.
Alexa Romano.
Alexandria Diddle.
Nina Rosado.
Nikki DiElmo.
Noel Rosado Jr.
Anna Maria DiFilippo.
Joshua Rosanell.
Angelica Decini.
Alec Rost.
Alessia Detal.
Alexandra Royce.
Justin Dona Maria.
Megan Rudin.
Giselle Dos Santos Scott.
Christina Schreiber.
Melanie Dos Santos Miranda.
Christopher Succi.
Dennis Drakely.
Ariana Sena.
Gabrielle D.
Jacob Sinus.
Sarah Edward.
Haley Sheets.
Kenneth Eichmann III.
Justin Sidebottom. Sarabit Singh Ramirez.
Nicole Fatzer.
Sylvia Smith.
Alec Feldman.
Lunique Spellman.
Allison Fenn.
Justin Spusta.
Darian Fennell.
Hannah Steinmeier.
Ryan Fetzer.
Kyle Swain.
Alexa Field.
Sabrina Satmari.
Shaquana Figueroa.
Brenna Terry.
Giselle Figueroa.
Siobhan Thomas.
Victor Figueroa Jr.
Autumn Thompson.
Cielo Figueroa Bravo.
John Torella.
Christopher Flores.
Alyssa Trost.
Karina Flores.
Roshni Tyler.
Colleen Foley.
Ronald Velarde III.
Savannah Fortis.
Rachel Voronsky.
Christina Francois.
Mary Videz Gomez.
Kiera Fulton.
Charles Weiss.
Cooper Gabrich.
Austin Williams.
Kayla Gandy.
Daniel Wright.
Felicito Garcia.
Frankie Yarusi.
Natalie Garcia.
Allison Zazankowski.
Gracie Guerin.
Peter Ananko.
Jacqueline Giardino.
Edward McLinn.
Amy Geck.
Sophie Murray.
Frederick Georgette.
Alexandra Panton.
Savannah Gies.
Michael Ricci.
Elizabeth Jelly.
Maria Elena Barcelone.
Megan Glenn.
Kimberly Calais.
Caitlin Gordon.
Ava Danielson.
Katrina Grace.
David Dolan.
Samantha Rosler.
Anthony Forte.
Mia Gronick.
Olivia Fuller.
Alexandra Rosso.
Jack Glenn.
Alyssa Grillo.
Sean Goldstein.
Andrea Guanco.
Sarah Harvey.
Carissa Guerra.
Amia Jones.
Elidia Nova Guerrier.
Michael Killebrew.
Daniel Gutierrez Reyes.
Sarah Kuznarak.
Kenneth Guzman Andrade.
Christopher Lopez.
Derek Janing.
Caitlin McMullen.
Emanuela Hammond.
Desher Miles.
Isabella Hannah.
Grace Nana.
Rachel Hannigan.
Robert Niemeyer.
Lindsay Hart.
Ivan Rosales.
Bethany Hill.
George Quinn.
Kelly Hertz.
Marcos Rubert.
Lauren Harrell.
Sharon Ryu.
Taylor Hobbs.
Gianna Shaber.
Jordan Hoos.
Maria Solano Linares.
Kirsten Hoover.
Diavian Blackman.
Caitlin Holtz.
Ashley White.
Sarah Hutt.
Bailey Wood.
Sandy Hine.
Dalia Afifi.
Haley Iannaco.
Carly Allen.
Cassandra Iazetti.
Tamar Anderson.
Nazat Islam.
Caitlin Bainbridge.
Lillian James.
Joseph Basante.
Fiona Jansen.
Allison Bise.
Hunsi Mohammed Jaradat.
Dominique Blake.
Karen Jarvis.
Emily Blakelock.
Rachel Jensen.
Joanna Borelli.
Nicole Joachim.
Alexia Breeden.
Juliana Kaiser.
Tara Britt.
Alexandra Cansey.
Kendall Brooks.
Samantha Kemmerer.
Sierra Brown.
Makita Kerr.
Carly Buddy.
Andrew Kamba.
Emily Burkhardt.
Faith Kim.
Skylar Burke.
Alyssa King.
Sabrina Caban.
Jesse Clank.
Savannah Can.
Kyla Naroski.
Emily Carbone.
Jack Knowles.
Shane Carey.
Blaze Lawson.
Grace Catalano.
Riley Leggio.
Vincent Chen.
Diana Leone.
Sydney Clinton.
Ashley Leone Vanes.
Caitlin Cody.
Camila Levron.
Christopher Cognato.
Paige Link.
Madeline Cohen.
Rhiannon Lister.
Allison Collins.
Hannah Locaputo.
Joseph Conticchio.
Sarah Lombardo.
Isadora Costa.
Olivia London.
Emily Crossley,
Daisy Lopez,
Megan Curry,
Elise Lewig,
Alexia Davis,
Corinda Lucano,
Isabella De Angelis,
Jacqueline Lutchen,
Abigail Delaglio,
Michelle Luceriaga,
Devin Dorso,
Hannah McCauley,
Raquel Duff,
Sarah McGregor,
Seth Edwards,
Carol Maecha Benitez,
Crystal Amy,
Kimberly Mallow,
Aaron Fitzsimmons,
Raikiantu Mansare,
Chelsea Flax,
Christine Marks,
Fadina Florestal,
Amaryllis Martinez,
Matthew Flynn,
Sulimar Martir Gonzalez,
Gabrielle Fouts,
Olivia Mason,
Jacqueline Francisco,
Mackenzie Massing,
Alyssa Francer,
Marianne Mathis,
Victoria Garton,
Leah McCarthy,
Gianna Garaci,
Shadira McCrae Drummond,
Jonathan Gierxaris,
Christina McGee,
Evan Giesinger,
Allison Meany,
Katayla Lee Go,
Emily Mink,
Taylor Goodridge,
Alexis Marlowe,
Angela Hartman,
Gracie Meyer,
Kayla Hemming,
Michael Minakazi,
Caitlin Hessen,
Charlotta Mitchell,
Jessica Higbee,
Justin Jude Manesset,
Van Nee Ho,
Abigail Montemayor,
Brianna Holmes,
Victoria Moon,
Jacob Hoppenfeld,
Nicole Mooney,
Jessica Hunt,
Etna Morales,
Carly Jennings,
Brianna Morris,
Daisy Jimenez,
Lindsay Marone,
Casey Johansson,
Taylor Mulch,
Haley Jones,
Amanda Murdoch,
Sarah Kawisa Zemek,
Sophie Nelson,
Catherine Kempczynski,
Amaryllis Nieves,
Erica Klein,
Liam Noonan,
Matthew Kopak,
Siane Nunez,
Tamia Krieger,
Bridget O'Boyle,
Madison Chrysandra,
Ease Agbana,
Alexandria Lamoureux,
Samantha O'Cross,
Katie Ledbetter,
Amy Oliva,
Lear Lewis,
Charlene Uluchina,
Aaron Layden,
Allison Osborne,
Andrew Lesh,
France Ozal,
Lillian Long,
Olivia Owens,
Cassandra Lorenzo,
Myra Pacheco,
Dean Luciano,
Miranda Payne,
Sitlali Madden,
Nina Paoli,
Joseph Mancini,
Olinka Perez Velasquez,
Brian Mangual,
Michelle Pasquale,
Juliana Marchisi,
Alyssa Pastore,
Gabrielle Mariano,
Jacob Patty,
Angelina Marte,
Samuel Pomps,
Bethany Martin,
Jennifer Peak,
Fernanda Martinez,
Hillary Peralta,
Sherrianne Martinez,
Autumn Perlmutter,
Taylor Mason,
Natalie Perila,
Bianca Matthew,
Athena Petronella,
Maurice Matthews,
Gabrielle Petroselli,
Karina McCormick,
Daniela Peinado,
Kayla Miesenhelter,
Grace Pikus,
Eris Miller,
Jacqueline Porlicari,
Jared Mills,
Summer Powers,
McKaylee Mulchin,
Andy Prempa,
Mary Molina,
Lauren Preston,
Mary Natali,
Marissa Primo,
Madison Nooner,
Janelle Rana,
Jennifer No,
Alexa Rapparelli,
Isabella O'Brien,
Caitlin Retta,
Kiara Olivero,
Nicholas Rayhill,
Rick Ompod,
Brittany Reyes,
Carly Pear,
Rachel Richards,
Christina Palella,
Tyler Rodriguez,
Julia Paradiso,
Margarita Roman,
Carly Pascale,
Deanna Rondi,
Miranda Paul,
Alicia Rossiter,
Matthew Perrone,
Avery Ronzaville,
Jared Peters,
Sanjita Sema,
Sarah Phillips,
Luisa Sala,
Julia Piccialo,
Miles Sampson,
Mia Pinkovitz,
Darwin Sandoval,
Alyssa Platt,
Gabriela Santiago,
Morgan Plotka,
Victoria Santos,
Emily Ponticello,
Teresa Sansone,
Michaela Pope,
Nicole Schumacher,
Jackson Pritchett,
Madeline Scott.
Chantel Ramirez.
Nicole Shea.
Alyssa Raparelli.
Victoria Sheeran.
Micah Reeves.
Emma Shields.
Angelica Reyes.
Jamie Shine.
Morgan Rhodes.
Casey Schultz.
Kevin Riley.
Adrian Sia.
Natalie Rinaldo.
Brielle Smith.
Mitzi Rose Rodriguez.
Harmony Smith.
Paola Rodriguez.
Kaylee Smith.
Deanna Rooks.
Caitlin Soden.
Megan Rundle.
Jordan Solomon.
Francesca St. Serin.
Samara Sousa.
Angelica Sanchez.
Madeline Starkman.
Tatiana Santiago.
Richard Sturl.
Mariah Schlee.
Kayla Steiger.
Sarah Sharp.
Catherine Sundholm.
Lily Charette.
Thomas Supko Jr.
Brandon Schaup.
William Taylor.
Alyssa Simeon.
Renata Teichman.
Jolie Smith.
Madison Thompson.
Kayla Staub.
Bridget Titus.
Anthony Staton.
Jennifer Toll.
Megan Sweeney.
Kaylee Tobin.
Stella Tolya.
Emanuela Toku.
Lacey Torriero.
Alyssa Torres.
Mathurin Toth Nam.
Anthony Torres de Jesus.
Nikki Virali.
Julie Tran.
Natalia Weitzel.
Haley Trottier.
Denisha Wiggins.
Jamie Troy.
Kara White.
Jessica Terizzi.
Sabrina Whitney.
Catherine Ulmer.
Nicole Winslow.
Brianna Urban.
Danielle Yeager.
Jake Valley.
Kaylin Zinsman.
Madison Von Buren. Ty Anthony Connor. Samantha Von Horn. Lisbeth Espinal. Delia Velasquez. Autumn Kane. Gabriella Verzolini. Akshika Patel. Rebecca Villari. Purva Patel. Brianna Waller. Reet Patel. Alexis Walton. Gianna Spinelli. Brianna William. Nicole White. Mahogany Williams.
Austin Antonelli.
Sarah Wingler.
Ashley Badillo.
Ashley Yang.
Javiera Bamondes.
Emily Ziff.
Lauren Bailey.
Melissa Zhao.
Ethan Bauer.
Samantha Almack.
Michelle Barrios.
Giovanna Barbero.
Jessica Bellotti.
Kayla Marie Bermudez.
Odalis Bonilla Acosta.
Max Bond.
Dana Breslau.
Anaya Bryant.
Rose Crawley.
Age Burrell.
Katrina Datil.
Morgan Calabria.
Dana Demola.
Isabella Cavallari.
Catherine DeMuro.
Kira Chapman.
Chelsea DeRose.
Emily Kalana.
Frederick Erskine.
Stephanie Demola.
Elisa Evangelista.
Bailey Farrell.
Lauren Farrell.
Lauren Fernandez.
Warren Faulkner.
Mary Bell Farina.
Ashley Francesco.
Amanda Gyro. Jessica Leppendorf.
Selena Frusco.
Lauren Medito.
Olivia Fulton.
Jessica Michaels.
Shannon Galena.
Sarah Namchik.
Natalie Garcia.
Bailey Otto.
Rachel Geller.
Brenna Palmer.
Pascual Gutierrez Aquino.
Akash Parmar.
Katie Hanlon.
Tiffany Reed.
Antoinette Hatton.
Devin Richter.
Nicolette Heinen.
Justin Roa.
Gina Hoffman.
Phoebe Rosica.
Brianna Hanze.
Jacob Roy.
Christiana Halosos.
Olivia Saya.
Brianna Jokel.
Olivia Sidalecki.
Stacy Kieser.
Susan Silverman.
Rebecca Crone.
Haley Steinman.
Cassidy Lechner.
Lucas Thomas.
Daisy Leone.
Tyler Turchi.
Hillary Ricardo Romero.
Brooke Wackenheim.
Shannon Lewis.
Megan Werner.
Rachel Lindborn.
Emily Watson.
Rochelle Liranzo.
Julia Wetzel.
Christine Mayer.
Marion Wisham.
Jada McClellan.
Michelle Leahy.
Kiana Miller.
Vashawn Brock.
Summer Mills.
Luciana Confrancesco.
Paige Moring.
Ashton Colangelo.
Ashley Morales.
Veda Complantano.
Alexandra Musman.
Ronnie Copeland.
Danielle Nutt.
Alyssa Foti.
Liliana Morales.
And Malijit Kaur.
Elizabeth Peace.
Cassandra Koshef.
Kylie Pierce.
Gabrielle Martinez.
Maria Ponce.
Amanda Maurer.
Sofia Puerto.
Kelly Miller.
Samantha Rao.
Nicolette Morris.
Noleli Rodriguez.
Nayati Herrick.
Spencer Salas.
Susan Parambo.
Diana Sandoval.
Gavin Sweeney.
Rafaela Saude.
Yami Vasquez.
Sydney Schult.
Samantha Von Whiting.
Kamari Serrano.
Emily Wilbert.
Carly Shire. Rochelle Amy. Stephanie Sibaja. Connor Backman. Benjamin Sides. Brianna Baldessano. Molly Spazak. Ryan Casey. Sabria Spellman. Kayla Cox. Haley Spencer. Demi Emmons. Rebecca Zanger. Jayla George. Jill Tucci. Unique Jenkins. Caroline Tucker. Caitlin Maffei. Emily Wren. Ashley Pintor. Morgan Zapata. Jennifer Rios. Evan Zarowski. Elizabeth Rivera.
Gianna Macera.
Natalie Russell.
Carly Rupert.
Louis Russo III.
Kelly Lindo.
Jason Sass.
Jocelyn Perez.
Patrick Schmalz. Rebecca Shingelo. Kiara Williams.
George.
Renee Prouty.
Gianna Morganti.
Gabriela Mirasol.
Leanne Lamont. Jessica Herrera.
Will the master's degree candidates please come forward? Provost Kahanif, it is my privilege to report to you that the master's degree candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects for degrees by successfully completing curricula offered by Stockton University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic achievement.
Master's degree candidates. In the class of 2022, who have successfully completed all the requirements for graduation, based on the approval of the faculty and the authority vested in me by the state of New Jersey and the Stockton University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the master's degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Please come forward. We are now privileged to present the new master's graduates. To honor your fellow graduates, when you exit the stage, please promptly return to your seats. Would the master graduates from the School of Health Sciences and Social and Behavioral Sciences please come forward?
Gianna Morganti. Alyssa Erin Lopez de Guzman. Joy Akpan. Nicole Etheridge. Maria Cacavo. Marissa Giardina. Lachey Creer. Juliana Gore. Caitlin Fisher. Samantha Griggs. Karen Marcello Stosic. Amanda Guida. Samantha Zathmary. Faith Hop. John Walsh. Taylor Hafer. Kathleen Worthington. Rachel Hetman.
Nicole Bauberger.
Nicole Jake.
Frankie Berliner.
Anna King.
Joya Blount.
Jennifer Ligori.
Brooke Blumenstock.
Avi McFadden.
Brielle Delano.
Alexa McKee.
Marissa DeLeo.
Brooke Malbire.
Destiny Foster.
Amanda Owen.
Marie Hayden.
Alexis Popovich.
Dowd Jamil.
Kelly Quigley.
Maria Mensch.
Amanda Rabinowitz.
Roxana Perez Nieves.
Marina Salvatore.
Alyssa Pilaro.
Gina Schiavone.
Solita Rivera.
Sarah DeMarco.
Mariah Vargo.
Brianna Donnelly.
Brillie Martinez.
Chastity Coward. Brianna Cooney.
Jessica Dickinson.
Lindsay Collins.
Vincent Escher.
Elisa Bonaccini.
Nadia Hyatt.
Sarah Slimsky.
Bria Ketchledge.
Christine Ann Sobradilla.
Jenna Martino.
Jenna Tompkins.
Rachel Mignone.
Samantha Wilbur.
Brianna Mincolelli.
Alani Lee.
Jessica Peoples.
Lillian Bloschstein.
Christina Pereira.
Sally Elias.
Alexi Tabersi.
Jessica Luca.
Sylvia Alfaro.
Rachel Lucia.
Desiree Alicia.
Faith Madden.
Emily Bautista Martinez.
Sierra Sage.
Tajuana Bell.
Nicole Sicarella.
Julia Belmonte.
Allison Tomowski.
Maria Castaneda.
Carly Viteri.
Tanisha Dixon.
Rebecca Zillis.
Rachel Donnelly.
Kelsey Rodriguez.
Danielle Ferrari. Brittany White. Danielle Fisher. Michaela Weckes. Summer Forte. Gina Umosella. Alma Fuster. Juliana Walsh. Janine Gansey. Caitlin Walder. David Geller. Evelyn Tejada. Margarita Gonzalez. Brianna Supi. Brian Hansen. Christina Seal. Rashima Harmon. Eileen Seda. Keeman Henry. Brittany Sconiers. Paige Hull. Alec Sabol. Dominique Howard. Desiree Robinson. Shanice Hyman. Abria Kelly. Hannah Coomson, Dana Labriola, Devin Larkins, Sharonade Lovius, Rochelle Matthew, Emily McCall, Talia Melendez, Emily Molitor, Judith Mulligan, Abigail O'Boyle, Julissa Pender, Jessica Purdy, Jeanette Quinn, Liliana Rivera,
Will the doctoral degree candidates please come forward? Provost Kahanev, it is my privilege to report to you that doctoral degree candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects for degrees successfully completed curricula offered by Stockton University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded the appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
Doctoral degree candidates in the class of 2022 who have successfully completed all the requirements for graduation. Based on the approval of the faculty and the authority vested in me by the state of New Jersey and the Stockton University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the doctoral degree with all honor, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
We are now privileged to present the new doctoral graduates. Would the doctoral graduates from the School of Health Science please come forward?
Dr. Teresa Abapo, Dr. Charles Elsey, Dr. Christopher Bajada, Dr. Elizabeth Humphreys, Dr. Emily Brand, Dr. Abigail Madrigal, Dr. Ariel Kamaligan, Dr. Rochelle Sateri, Dr. Caroline Castro, Dr. Jordan Scheidig, Dr. Matthew Cohen, Dr. Brandon Young, Dr. Alexandra Desmond, Dr. Amelia Steelman, Dr. Jared DeVita, Dr. Gina Santuro, Dr. Alexander Gong, Dr. Raleigh Sadong, Dr. Olivia Horant, Dr. Corinne Russo, Dr. Randy Lynn Hornyak, Dr. Jude Christopher Pino, Dr. Melanie Ayatarola, Dr. Nicole Palante, Dr. Shira Zhang, Dr. Jasper Royce Orsino, Dr. Austin Jennis, Dr. Brittany Nitch, Dr. Reed Kanakis, Dr. Brooke Nolan, Dr. Grace Kim, Dr. Clara Morgan, Dr. Eugene Kozlowski, Dr. Alexis Medina, Dr. Christine Mack, Dr. Holly McBrearty, Dr. Christine Mack,
Congratulations to all of our graduates. With your generosity and that of family and friends who purchased yearbook ads, the Stockton Foundation will award 3 $1,000 scholarships from the Students Helping Students Fund. Scholarships will benefit 1 rising sophomore, 1 rising junior, 1 rising senior. This is your legacy of the class of 2022. Yes, thank you. I would now like to recognize 97 graduates, some of whom just crossed this stage and were awarded their degrees. They are members of our community who have served in or are on active duty with the United States military. I ask that they please stand and that everyone join me in congratulating them. Service to our country. Please be seated. Now I would like to ask Ray Ciccone, Chair of the Stockton University Board of Trustees, to come to the podium.
Congratulations, graduates. Ooh. We're almost to the end, okay? You know, I'm a proud 1979 graduate who lived in the courts, just like you. And as chair of the trustees, I want to add my congratulations to all of you. I am so proud of all my fellow Stockton graduates. You have demonstrated your commitment in earning your degree at Stockton. Your dedication will serve you well as you enter the next chapter of your life for community service and beyond. I welcome you to our community of over 60,000 Stockton Osprey alumni, representing Stockton throughout the country and throughout the world. I encourage you to remain involved in Stockton and take full advantage of the programs and other activities offered to alumni. Congratulations from the Board of Trustees and the entire Stockton community.
Congratulations, graduates. All of us at Stockton are proud of you and embrace you as graduates and lifelong members of the Stockton family. Thank you for choosing Stockton and for remaining part of the university's legacy. As the recessional begins, I ask for the graduates to remain seated and enjoy the rendition of Ospreys on Parade, our alma mater. The video projected on the screen was performed by Joseph Cermati, a proud member of the class of 2015 and manager of academic personnel and administration. He's accompanied by Dr. Beverly Vaughn, professor of music. Platform party, please rise for the recessional. Graduates, please join your family and friends on the boardwalk after the platform party exits the arena floor. This concludes the commencement ceremony. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your special day.
Let us travel in the footsteps of those who came before. Here on our campus in the Pines, knowledge opens every door. And when we go marching out to the world beyond our Stockton, at ease with what we learn, our future has begun. Knowledge leads to knowledge, and Stockton shows the way. Oh, let us be among those for whom Stockton leads the way. Oh, let us proudly strive to be examples